Hi, Dr. Nathan here. Did you know that inside of your fridge you could have the key to prevent dementia? And at the same time, inside of the same fridge, you could have the key to make dementia faster and more likely. If you eat right, you can decrease your risk of developing dementia in up to 40%. But if you're eating wrong, you make that risk much higher, 30% higher. So you better be careful what you're eating. In this video, I will be giving you some very practical tips of what to eat. So pay attention because right in the end, I'm going to give you some list, very practical, so that you know what you have to eat, all right? And in another video, I'm going to tell you what not to eat. So let's go. And if you like our content, please hit the like and subscribe button. With no further ado, let's go. How to feed your mind. So what happens here is as we age, our neurons, they become not as healthy. You can imagine this as if you had junk inside of your house. And there's junk inside of your house and there's junk on the streets. And those two kind of junks, the inside of your house, it's the inside of your neurons, and on the streets, which is outside of the neurons, they will make the connection between these neurons, these brain cells. It will make that connection slower, and it may cause the death of these neurons. So what we want to do here is to prevent that from happening. And when we say dementia, it's not one disease, it's several diseases, but Alzheimer's, it's the main cause of dementia, the main type of dementia. It's around 60 to 70% of dementias. So we'll be talking about that today. And there's no cure. We know that there's no magic pill, there's no treatment. There are some pills, there are some medications that will help to delay the dementia from developing, but there's no cure. So what we have to do, we have to to wear that shield to prevent those diseases from happening. And one of the things that is very important for us to prevent that is what we eat. So what should we eat? Well, several studies that I used to in this presentation here, I'm going to put them on the description of this video so you can take a look on each medical journal, each article that I used. But basically, they talk about three different diets: the Mediterranean diet, the Nordic diet, and the Mind diet. So we'll be talking about those three. And after that, I'm going to make you a very practical tip, very practical things that you can do in your daily life, in your week, throughout the week. So things that you can. All right. So the Mediterranean diet, mamma mia! I bet you already know this. The Mediterranean diet, it's in Italy, Greece, southern France, and it's basically you eat a lot of extra virgin olive oil, you eat a lot of fish, a lot of seafood, a lot of vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes. You eat a lot of that, and for all those diets, adherence is the key. If you are not doing that frequently, if you don't make eating healthy a habit, then there will be no benefit. But okay, if you do not live in the Mediterranean, if you do not live in a warm place, there is another diet which is not as studied as the Mediterranean diet, which is called Nordic diet. It was studied in countries like Denmark, Iceland, colder countries, and you have a lot of roots, a lot of vegetables, carrots, beets, cabbages, a lot of grains, whole grains, and it also helps to prevent dementia. And when I say about oil here, this is probably going to be uh, maybe a point of confusion. When we say canola oil, it's cold pressed canola oil, right? But if you can get olive oil, then that's even better. Now, the Mind diet, and this Mind diet, it blends the Mediterranean diet and DASH. DASH, it's what we use prevent high blood pressure and also to treat high blood pressure, the kind of diet that we use. And it helps even people who have a high risk of developing dementia, who have this genetic predisposition to develop dementia, which I'll be talking. So this mind diet, they use a lot of leafy greens. So the number one food that you eat in this kind of diet, it's leafy greens. And the number two, berries. You eat a lot of berries as well. It also helps with this diet. It has this antioxidant effect and delicious olive oil and fish. Also, one thing that it's very important in this kind of diet is fish. And now you have this kind of a secret weapon, which is flavonoids. And flavonoids, you can find them in tea, especially, and this specific study, it's from the UK. So they drink a lot of tea, and especially green tea and black tea, you find this flavonoids, and also in chocolate, dark chocolate. Everything that you can eat, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So dark chocolate, good. Um, Milk chocolate, bad. White chocolate, ugly. Stay away from that. But so dark chocolate, 70% chocolate, 80% chocolate, that's what we're talking about. And also red wine. And then you're going to say, okay, but isn't alcohol bad? A little bit of red wine, if you're already used to drinking, it's not going to harm you, of course, unless you have a liver disease, you have other diseases, but it's the moderation, just a little bit of red wine. And if you already are used to drinking it, so if you already drink it, you don't have to stop unless your doctor says so. But I'm not recommending that you start drinking wine. Okay, that's also very important. And it works as also an antioxidant, which prevents cells from dying, and it will help you with not developing dementia. Right? Uh, this slide I'm gonna talk about it in another video. What you should not eat. Okay, and what's something that's very important. There are people who are predisposed to developing dementia. They have this genetic predisposition, but this kind of diet, it helps even more those people who have this predisposition. So it's not like you are doomed. Okay, no, I have this predisposition and there's nothing that I can do. No, no, it actually works better on you. It can prevent it can reduce your risk in some studies says 40% overall. It's from 20 to over 50% the decrease of the risk of developing dementia. And it's even more important in people who have this genetic predisposition. It's if you think, okay, I am very dirty, and I'm gonna take a shower, then I'm gonna be very clean. Whereas if you're not dirty and you take a shower, okay, you're gonna be clean, but the amount of cleanness that you're gonna get it's not as much. And I'm saying that to say, okay, if you have a high risk and you start eating healthy, you're gonna decrease that risk very much. Whereas if you already have average risk or low risk, and you decrease that to the same level, you're not decreasing as much. That's what I'm trying to say here, right? So a practical checklist, something that you can print and put on your fridge and that you can use on your daily life. Because I don't want to be talking very things that you cannot actually apply to your life. So here are some daily practical checklist things that you can start doing today. So every day, try to eat green leafy vegetables. That's every day. Another thing, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. That's also something that you can eat every day. And tea, if you like drinking tea, then drink tea. 3 to 5 cups of tea a day. I don't like tea that much, but if you are in the UK, you probably drink a lot of tea. Now that's daily. Now and after that, weekly, you try to aim to eat fish at least once a week, berries at least twice a week, and chicken also at least twice a week. When you're taking a snack, try to eat nuts, seeds, and I'm not talking about that nut with a sugar coat, not that one, like just plain nuts. and also what not to eat. We're going to talk about that in another video. Okay, should I start today? I'm too young to start today. No. Yeah, you should start it today, even if you are young, if you're old, regardless of that, you should start today. Because you think it like that. If you're younger, then you start today, the improvement that you're going to get is much, much higher. For example, if you have an airplane is flying, and then they're going to move their route just for 3 degrees, it's just a little bit. It's you cannot even see that, but in a very long term, the difference is very, very high. So yeah, you should start it today, and even if you are older, you should also start it today. And you should try to do something that you will be able to do it every day. You will be able to make a habit of it. When people say, okay, what's the best exercise to do? Well, the best exercise to do is the one that you're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. The one that you like, the one that you're going to stick to it. So there's no good in saying, oh, you have to do this and that and that. No, if you're not actually going to do it. The best diet is the one that you're going to be able to make a habit of it and actually apply it to your life. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you at your next episode.